Well, there we are. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Godzilla. Now, he's grown up a little bit. Maybe got a little promotion there, as he is officially known as Godzilla, King of Monsters. There you go. That new release that came out this past week. Me and Troy saw it. What do we think? Do we think he is a king worthy of our praise? Find out on a very Monster Mash edition of the Review. I think that's probably one of the best intros I've done in a while.
Yeah. It was good. It was clean.
Yeah.
One take, one kill.
No weird pause where I was trying to find words or say the weekly come-outs. I think I did a good job this time.
I didn't even feel the urge to start it with, I was working in the lab late one night.
It was a graveyard fuck.
Oh my god, I always think I'm going to hate that, and then I end up loving it so hard. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
No.
But
Look up the monster fuck from Comedy Bang Bang. It'll make your day.
Yeah.
I want to say it's on YouTube, but I'm not sure.
It's got to be somewhere.
It's got to
on
be
the internet.
somewhere.
But yeah, monster fuck is good.
The Wolfman just jerked off and cried.
Oh, man. So, yes, at the top of the hour, we are going to be getting to Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Oh, boy. Gotta do that rumble, that afterburn rumble, rumble that he has.
The afterburn. But before we get into that, JT, we're going to get into something else. First question to you is that fan picking up on the mics?
I mean, a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal.
Good, because it is going to be hot AF in here if I don't have it on.
That is fine. Give it to yourself.
Great.
You're a hardworking man. You deserve this.
Hardworking man. I deserve this.
You deserve this. Troy, tell yourself you deserve this.
Troy, you deserve this.
You're good enough. You're smart enough. And doggone it, people like you.
We'll see after this review.
Oh, man.
What the stupidest clickbaitiest thing I've ever said. But why don't we get out with some? Why don't we get out with the latest come-outs of the week?
Oh yeah, the daily come-outs. Telling you, it's picking on.
Todd McFarlane, you may know him from being the creator of Spawn and him threatening a Spawn movie,
threatening multiple times. The hardest R.
That's right. It's gonna be straight horror.
It's gonna be so hard.
Hard R. Well, he's threatening again to be making that movie. And it also made... Oh, shit, I forgot to write the website down. But, it's like the 411.com or something like that.
Yeah.
Made Todd McFarlane the dumpster fire of the week. For this fact alone, that Todd McFarlane is still on the rampage to make that hard R Spawn movie. And he is not giving up any creative control at all to anyone. Not any co-producer, not any co-director, not any production studio such as Blumhouse, which is trying to work with. Not giving up an inch. He wants to make the exact movie he wants to make.
Oh, I can't wait for this to come out now.
I want it to come out because he's only asking for like a mere $10 million to $12 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Blumhouse model.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd give, especially with a name behind it, they tend to give out more money to movies that have some sort of a franchise behind it.
Right. Todd McFarlane isn't a slouch. He wants to put up most of his own money.
Yeah.
So really, Blumhouse would maybe put up, at the most, half of it.
Yeah.
$5 million,
yeah.
Let's say. That's not a huge... I would say the Spawn movie would make its money back at least in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. Just putting the name Spawn on it, even if it's a total piece of shit.
Yes.
It's going to make some money.
Yes. But, with that being said, I'd almost now want to see this movie for a completely different reason.
Oh, yeah.
Only because it's going to be solely one man's complete vision. And if it fails hard, it's all on him. That's what I want.
But I love those so much because it's like when it's one person's vision, there's definitely not even tinges, huge heaps of insanity in there. Doesn't matter who the person is.
Yeah.
If it's a person that thinks they can make a movie all by themselves, there's going to be a lot of insane shit in there.
Yes, and that's what I want. I have no doubt in my mind this will be middling to poor, but maybe I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Don't know. The Spawn animated series is really good. That was on HBO.
Oh, yeah? I thought I saw that it's up on HBO Go. I might check out.
I think it's up on there, and somebody else told me that the whole thing's on YouTube as well.
Oh.
So maybe you can check it out and steal it from there. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Jumping into casting news, JT, we brought this up maybe 2 weeks ago at this point.
Okay.
But it wasn't quite official. It was heavily rumored, but it is now official. Robert Pattinson is our new Batman.
Okay.
Your thoughts? Have you thought about this more?
I like it.
Same. I haven't thought about it anymore because I actually thought it was a done deal when we brought this up like 2 weeks ago.
Even when you came through that door, you didn't think about it anymore?
That's another inside joke. Check out my Twitter thread.
Yeah. Watch Frozen.
And listen to any song on that whole album. But yeah, I'm a fan of this so far.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that this should be any bad. So bring it on. Give it to us.
Yes.
Moving on, JT.
Okay.
A little bit of Netflix news. The streaming juggernaut
Yeah.
is teaming with another animation studio. It works with this animation studio, actually. This actually ties into what maybe was on in the living room as you were coming in.
What?
DreamWorks Pictures,
Yeah.
specifically DreamWorks Animation,
Yeah.
they are doing a Jurassic World animated series coming to Netflix in 2020. Same people who bring you Boss Baby back in business.
Yeah.
And the Spirit Horse Show. Same animation studio bringing you that is bringing you a Jurassic World movie.
I think I read up on
Or
this. And
animated series, rather.
I read up on this, and it's supposed to be where Jurassic World is building a summer camp for kids. Because that's a
horrible,
fucking awesome idea.
For dinosaurs that get loose and murder people.
Hopefully kids.
Yeah, hopefully. Show them. I don't know. I'm probably not going to watch this. I just thought it was interesting because I knew that Boss Baby was made by this, so I thought I'd just throw that in there.
Well, bless it.
Bless their hearts.
It's such a great movie. Listen back to our review.
Oh my God, Boss Baby!
We loved it.
What a legend of a movie.
What a legend.
Joel, did you see this odd news about Lorne Michaels and Chris Kattan over the last couple of days?
No.
So Chris Kattan just had a book come out just the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
The first of the month.
Wait, yeah, isn't this where didn't Lorne Michaels tell Chris Kattan that he had to fuck someone from NBC?
Yeah, kind of. So in the book,
okay,
Chris Kattan goes on and says when he was making Night at the Roxbury,
yeah,
the director of that,
oh okay,
Amy Heckerling,
yeah,
I guess was supposed to, or he was supposed to bang her, or something, because he in the book wrote that she came up to him and said, "So are we having sex or what?" And he just kind of laughed it off and went about his day.
Yeah.
And then the next day she came to Lorne Michaels furious and didn't want to do the movie anymore because they didn't bang.
Jesus.
So nobody has corroborated this story.
Yeah.
And agreed and backed this thing up that it's true. Lorne Michaels hasn't said anything, obviously.
Yeah.
But then the whole article goes on about how Lorne Michaels is kind of, I guess not really shitty, but he's just kind of a looming figure in the NBC offices that just has this huge clout over the comedy scene in New York, especially.
Yeah.
That it kind of makes him a questionable person.
Yeah.
Even if this is true or not.
Yeah.
Because I actually took a screenshot of what the conversation went down as. already had this thing where the next day, Lorne Michaels called him furious, saying that Amy apparently didn't want to direct the movie because he didn't bang her.
Yeah.
If he wanted to make sure the movie happened, Kattan would have to keep Amy happy, Michaels reportedly said. Chris, I'm not saying... He'll only do it in his voice.
Chris,
I'm not saying you have to fuck her, but it wouldn't hurt. That's apparently what he said. And Kattan writes further on that he and Heckerling eventually did have sex, consensually, but that he was very afraid of the power she and Lorne wielded over his career.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then it goes on to say some weird stuff about like how he just has like this weird power over the comedy scene and pretty much this whole Saturday Night Live monster.
Man.
Yeah, it's really weird. Did you ever listen to much of WTF?
No.
There was like a stint on that show for maybe 2 or 3 years where Mark Maron would have people like previous cast members of SNL on.
Yeah.
Just talk about like their lives on SNL and how Lorne Michaels was.
Yeah.
Because he got denied from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And then he finally was trying to get his closure on why they never got into the show or whatever. And when he finally got Lorne Michaels on or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like obsessed with like the inner workings of SNL at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still like, I'm still surprised the show is still on TV.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like it's on season like 46 or 47.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
And like it's the only show of its kind on TV.
Yeah.
It's live every week. Just works people to the bone all week.
Yeah.
To have this one big huge blowout on Saturday nights.
Yeah. And
it's this maker of careers almost that still includes like a musical act that nobody ever cares for.
I've every time we watch it on Hulu, we like freaking fast forward through it every time.
I get up, go to the bathroom, and get a drink or something like that. I never watch it, but like it's such a weird monster of a show.
Yeah,
and it's so. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. It's so interesting to me.
I know. I feel like a show like that is kind of like Teachers in Tenure, where it's like once it gets past a certain point, it's like it's been around for so long, people don't know how to ask it to go away.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh man, we could probably put something else here, but man, it's been working this long. We might as well just keep it here forever.
Right. And you wouldn't think like. So the show obviously has a special guest every week, a special host.
Yeah.
And that completely hinges on the host because, like, no matter the talent of the cast that they have at that time, if the host isn't really all that good, almost every skit can fall flat. Like, it's on for a long time, like 2.5 hours or something like that. And then it gets to the Hulu cut and it's like 45 minutes long, maybe. So, like, I would love to watch it live every week to see what is actually cut and actually put out on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, oh my god, like, it's such an interest. If you look into, like, the inner workings of SNL, it's so bizarre.
I know. I've always wanted to try and find it where, like, every time I've heard, like, a podcast where someone's talked about SNL, they always bring up, like, the worst host ever was Steven Seagal. Because he took himself way too seriously, and they I guess, like, the only time he ever pitched a skit, it was like a skit where he constantly joked about raping somebody.
Oh, God. Awful.
Yeah.
But then you had, like, even before the Trump administration, they had Donald Trump on as a host.
Yeah.
And then the next year he's elected for president, and all they do is bash him. Like, why even have him on? What was the point of that? Was that like a power move by Lorne or what?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Such a weird fucking show.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up in case you heard about it.
Interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
I love Chris Kattan, too.
So do I.
Like, I feel like he's so underrated when it came to Saturday Night Live. There's so much of what he did where it was like, I always looked forward to, like, something Chris Kattan did.
On Saturday Night Live, yes. And then anything he did afterwards, I think he was squandered on because, like, the movies were just...
Well, I think he got typecast.
Yeah.
Like, they typecast him as, be like these characters from Saturday Night Live, but it's like Chris Kattan's characters are meant for, like, a Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
show where you get
Like
it in
an
like
8-minute
Yeah.
skit.
Yeah. But then people typecast them like, do that for an hour and a half and call yourself Corky Romano.
Right. Bad. So yeah, hopefully he's doing okay for himself.
Yeah.
I would assume he is off residuals of something.
Hopefully.
I don't know if he's in anything.
Night at the Roxbury's still good.
I like Night at the Rock. I think it's not like a great movie, but
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's actually one of the first movies that me and C Danger like we brought it up to each other saying that we loved it. And it was like a first little spark that we had.
There you go.
Because it's odd that her and her best friend would watch that movie all the time as kids.
Yeah.
And we would watch it all the time as kids.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so weird.
Just imagine.
Synergy.
If Chris Kattan didn't bang that director, you wouldn't have met your wife.
That's probably true. Moving on to maybe some... I'll dip into some other news here, JT, and I'll pick it up at the end. So the Dark Phoenix already has some reviews out there.
I heard they're so glowing.
I thought there was going to be more to that sentence, and there was not. It's doing bad.
I read lowest reviewed X-Men movie ever.
Okay, this is the news I have. Dark Phoenix has I keep bumping the mic. Has the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score of any X-Men movie so far.
Yeah.
Looking at it currently, it's at 22%. Yeah.
Look forward to our review next week.
We're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. That's only a critic score, though, since the movie technically hasn't released to audiences yet. So we'll see once this weekend comes about, see where it's at. But I want to see what freaking Wolverine's origins is.
Oranges?
Oranges.
Wolverine at oranges.
Wolverine oranges. Here we go. What is it? Load, you dong. Oh, it's at 37%.
Oh, no.
Yikes. What about X-Men Apocalypse? Sorry, I'm going to look up one more thing.
Just look up every single X-Men movie, Troy. We got time.
Apocalypse. No results found. Bullshit. It's so bad it's not even on Rotten Tomatoes.
Once it reaches a certain score, they just take it off of Rotten
It
Tomatoes.
literally says no results. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Do you know how to spell apocalypse, Troy?
It auto-corrected Apocalypse. I must have not spelled X-Men right. Let me just ask Google. Hey, Google. What's the Rotten Tomatoes score for X-Men Apocalypse?
On the website express.co.uk, they say, this is comfortably the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score of the entire franchise. The next one up is X-Men Origins, Wolverine on 37%. To read more, look for the link in your Google Home app.
God damn it, Google,
fuck?
you didn't...
So you said X-Men. You said
You
the one
said
that we
the
said.
one that we already know.
The fuck, Google.
Google.
Whatever.
I've given up. Anyway, I got more news, JT. Let's
All
move
right.
on.
Go ahead.
Did you see that the Wonder Woman poster came out? Wonder Woman 84 poster.
I did. It's very glittery, very colorful.
Very colorful. Almost taking a shine from maybe Thor Ragnarok a little bit, showing a splash of color in there, getting away from the drab DC, usually very desaturated tone.
Oh yeah.
I like it. It's showing her in a new costume, like an armored costume, which she has sported in the books before.
Yeah.
Maybe not exactly like this, but pretty close. Also, Patty Jenkins, the director of this, has also said that DC is not going to be at Comic-Con this year. Ooh. So don't look for DC or films to be showing anything at Hall H this year.
Oh.
I don't know what that means. Maybe that they're throwing a few things on the back burner and don't want to really put anything into motion yet until some of their new stuff comes out.
Who
grabs
knows?
a foothold of something.
Yeah.
47%
47% on Rotten Tomatoes.
47.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Thank you so much. Don't know how I missed it.
Well, you misspelled X-Men, so I get it.
So, yeah, there you have it. It looks good to me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Next year.
Next year, I'm looking forward to that first trailer drop. I'm very curious.
I'm also I'm too fast, too curious.
Oh, my goodness.
About that trailer.
The last bit of news I got here, JT, this, on its 39th day of being in theaters, Avengers Endgame.
Did it do it?
It did not do it yet.
Ah!
Actually, maybe have some...
It's tickling my balls.
This is the first day... Actually, it would have been yesterday. Would have been its first day that it did not make $1 million at the box office. It made a measly $890,000.
Uh-oh. Is it going to lose too much steam then?
It probably is. And it's not going to be able to top the worldwide box office of Avatar.
The juggernaut that is Avatar.
I know. And more interesting news, too.
Yeah.
It actually got there a week earlier than Avengers Infinity War in dropping down below $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, Avengers Infinity War didn't drop below $1 million until its 40th week.
Oh.
And then I looked into further with that because it was like a Forbes article that I was reading that there's a ton of movies that have surpassed Avengers Endgame and making more than $1 million a day.
Yeah.
Including like most of the recent Star Wars movies and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But because of its huge opening,
Yeah.
like everyone saw it opening weekend.
Yeah. They're trying to avoid spoilers and stuff.
And it also hasn't had like the clearest runway after it's come out.
Yeah, there's been a lot of pretty big things that have come out ever since.
So this is like the first... Well, actually, this is like the second weekend of like bigger movies to come out since Endgame.
Yeah.
And it's now just getting below $1 million, where like things like Star Wars or even like Infinity War had a pretty open runway.
Yeah.
To be making...
I'm trying to remember... I can't remember.
I couldn't remember
summer
either.
Seasons,
I on Forbes they usually have a good stats on that kind of stuff. But
I know you get it on a weekly basis, right? You like to stay studied up on money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's in my RSS feed. You know, it doesn't matter. I get all
How's
my...
the Dow Jones look today?
Oh, Dow Jones is up.
Oh, it's up? Good.
Don't know.
How many points?
6.
Cool.
Read it in the paper, so...
Good. You mean you read it in Forbes?
I mean, yeah.
Forbes. Because you get it.
They make a special newspaper just for me.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Bless them.
They fax it to me. I put it on my own newsprint.
This guy's so studied, you got to send it to him personally.
So that's going to be all my news, I think, JT. That's all I got.
There you go. Got some good come-outs there.
Thanks. Today, while you're loading up your news, we are drinking something special. It's nothing really Godzilla-themed.
Yeah.
But it may be monster-themed. We are drinking the Grumpy Troll Brew Pub's own Trailside Wheat Beer. Ooh. I actually went there this afternoon and grabbed 2 large liter or pint bottles of them. I got the wheat beer and another one in the fridge that we'll pop open later. What do you think so far? This wheat beer is kind of sweet, almost.
I already drank it, so it's good.
It is good. The next one I have is a golden lager called like Troll Gold or something like that. It's good. I had it there at the pub.
Very nice.
It's good. Pub. I almost got a growler of it, but instead I got 2 large pint bottles.
Oh.
So there you have it.
It's good.
Coming from Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. You can see what they got at thegrumpytroll.com.
Check it out.
Check it out sometime.
I know we go... I think I used to drive through Mount Horeb a lot when we like visit relatives. Because I got all those pesky wooden trolls.
Would you go down the troll way?
Of course, you got to go through the troll way.
It's an odd, somewhat semi-small town in Wisconsin where the main street down has a bunch of wooden trolls in everyone's yard.
Yeah.
It's very strange. but very quirky.
Twas very quirky.
Twas quirky.
Twas quirky. Troy, HBO's limited series Chernobyl ended this past week. I'll talk about that more as we go on, but according to sources,
all right,
IMDb has it as its top-rated TV show ever.
Really?
Yeah, it is at the number 1 spot on IMDb.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, in an IMDb rating.
No, when IMDb lists all the IMDb has their lists of movies that they say are based on ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is TV show is considered been
God.
rated the best.
The best.
Yeah.
That's I have wanted to check that out. I just haven't had the time to do it yet.
Well, I'll talk about it more as we go on.
All right.
Or in another segment that we have, but yeah,
ongoing Chernobyl news.
That surprised me. That surprised me. Troy, I got some sad news on the TV front as well.
Oh no.
Sci-Fi has canceled the TV show Happy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. That's too bad. Did you want to get a full season 2 though?
I think it got a full season 2.
Okay.
But yeah.
I also think I saw that they canceled Deadly Class as well after 1 season.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about Deadly Class.
I heard it was great. It's based off a book by Rick Remender, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but a ton of people have been clamoring for me to watch it because I heard it just was great.
Yeah.
Just haven't gotten to it yet. But they're still looking for another network to pick it up.
There you go.
So we'll see if it's dead yet.
No, that's what you get in these fucking networks are cleaning house.
That's right.
Throw away all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Should have brought this up when you brought up earlier, but Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Yeah.
Some news came out about that, where news is coming out that it's supposed to be a trilogy.
Of course.
Of Robert Pattinson.
Great.
And the director has said that he is going to make it where it's Bruce Wayne in, quote, detective mode.
Good. We have yet to see a lot of that.
Yeah, it's always very action-based.
Yes. I would like to see the world's greatest detective do some actual detecting.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get snippets of it in the Nolan movies.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit in
more in the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But then once the Bane stuff comes in, it's just
and
all
oh,
crazy.
I'm hurt.
The more I think about those movies, I think the less I like them.
Yeah. Even the Dark Knight.
I still like the Dark Knight, and anytime it comes on, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's really good. But then, it's weird that it goes from this kind of fantasy Ra's al Ghul Scarecrow movie to a real life anarchist like Joker to this off the wall bonkers
I know
Dark Knight Rises. It's kind of insane, and if you take it and look at it at a whole, I don't think it really.
Yeah, I don't think it meshes together.
I don't think it meshes really well. I just thought about this literally the other day.
I think every movie by itself is a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say because I'm not the biggest fan of Dark Knight Rises, and I think Batman Begins is okay, but I don't think either 3 of those movies exist within their own in the
same universe.
Yeah, in the same universe.
It just seems they really hit a stride with the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And made it very true to life.
Yeah.
With very little you have to almost subvert expectations. It could happen.
Yeah.
But then there's things in the Batman Begins and I'm like, this, if you're taking a look at them back to back, it's
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I like Batman Begins for what it was when it first came out because it was such a more of a grounded idea of Batman.
Yeah.
It doesn't go off the wall with here's a crazy villain he has to fight.
Right.
It's both villains that he fights are pretty level-headed.
Yeah.
Scarecrow's insane, but he's insane because of a drug, not because
Right.
he has magic powers or anything.
Yeah.
So I liked it when it first came out, and I think Dark Knight elaborated off of that, but elaborated off that in a way more outlandish way where it made it more interesting.
Yeah.
Which almost kind of like made Batman Begins kind of pale in comparison.
Yeah. And then I was thinking about it too, and I like Liam Neeson as like the Ra's al Ghul character. But then like he's not really Ra's al Ghul. Like they change him enough that it's just like he's only really Ra's al Ghul in name only, and you really have none of like the I feel like the aspects of the character to really draw that it should be Ra's al Ghul. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking too hard about it and overanalyzing it, I think. But everyone can agree that Dark Knight Rises is just crazy bonkers. Like
Yeah.
it's almost cartoony. It is cartoony.
Yeah.
Compared to what realism came before it. So I'm looking for something with this new Matt Reeves one to kind of like find that middle ground. I like a realistic kind of Batman story, but I also want some fantasy elements kind of thrown in there to make it like fun, and you kind of like don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, cuz you got a huge rogues gallery of like insane characters.
Yeah.
And if you play it really close to the chest on one and then go goofy on like another one, it's like you need to find that middle ground.
Yeah, like playing those Arkham games, like they have like a lot of not so well known Batman villains that I wouldn't mind seeing on a theatrical interpretation of.
Yeah.
Like that dude that like is obsessed with Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah,
Like
Hush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be like a cool concept.
Yeah. I would love to see Hush and like the Court of Owls in a movie.
Yeah.
Not the same one, but like that's two movies you can do right there.
Like I think like the Court of Owls would be like a cool third movie in a trilogy where it's like he's established and now it's like there's my greatest threat is this group that no one doesn't even know exists.
Right. And it's been under Batman's nose this whole time and he's never even detected them until now.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Or it's like everything that he's done in the last two movies has been connected back to the Court of Owls.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. And it's like a huge, great story that everyone would be pining towards for a third one to like have an ongoing plot line. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Just hire us.
Hire us. We're so good. Here's some weird news for you, Troy.
Okay.
So, there's been some news developing that Quentin Tarantino might be developing a crossover film between Django and Zorro.
Okay.
It's very odd.
Yeah? Do they happen at the same time?
I mean, like Zorro does take place like around the time of the Old West, but he's like in Mexico.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'm not completely against this. It is weird. Like I don't need them to be in the same the same kind of universe or anything like that.
Yeah.
I would love to just see a Quentin Tarantino Zorro movie.
Yeah.
Like have him team up with Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. Or if they bring back Antonio Banderas as Zorro, like an older Zorro.
Yeah. I think I would like that. Hire us.
Hire us.
But that'd be great to get like freaking Robert Rodriguez like connections in like Latin America and all that kind of stuff and have his like flair on it as well as Tarantino's little stamp. Oh my God. I think I would like that a lot.
I'm for it.
Me too.
You sold me, Troy.
Bring back Zorro.
Here's $1 billion.
$1 billion Zorro movie.
You sold me. You sold me on it.
Nobody would see it.
No, nobody would. But that's all my news, Troy.
All right. Well, I have no bits.
No bits
So I
on this side
suppose-
either. But I do have a lot of things that may be done. I found quite a few.
I have 3 things that are at least done.
Okay.
Why don't you go with all yours and I'll chime in if I have them.
All right. One that I saw that looks kind of charming is a film called Britney Runs a Marathon.
Oh, okay.
It has, what's the secretary's name from Workaholics?
I can't remember her name, but I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's starring in it, and
Okay.
it seems like more of a she's funny in it, but it seems like more of a grounded role.
Okay.
Like she plays like a woman who's like she's not fat, but she's not in shape, and like she takes it upon herself that she's going to turn her life around and get in more shape to run the New York City Marathon, and it shows like her progress of how she changes her life around to get to the point where she can run the New York City Marathon.
Jillian Bell is her name.
Jillian Bell. So, but no, it looked charming. It looked fun.
Okay. I really like her. That sounds
Yeah.
like something I'd see.
Yeah.
And
So-
is this a theatrical release or a streaming release?
Theatrical.
Okay.
It's being put out by Amazon Pictures.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. Britney runs a marathon.
All right. All right.
And an odd film that I'm wondering how 'cause it's a huge studio film. I think is it 20th Century Fox? I can't remember. But it's a big studio film called Ad Astra.
Oh yeah, it's got Brad Pitt in it.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's in it. Tommy Lee Jones is in it. What's her name from Armageddon is in it.
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler's in it.
I just guessed.
Like,
I didn't.
yeah, no,
I didn't see
yeah,
the trailer.
she's in
So,
it. But yeah, it's a huge cast, but it's odd. Like it takes place in space, but you don't really know what the plot is.
okay.
Like Tommy Lee Jones is Brad Pitt's dad, and they sent him off in space like 35 years ago to do some mission to find life, but then he found some mineral that could end the world. And they show like scenes in the movie, like there's like a gunfight on the moon.
Cool.
At one point, like it looks so all over the place, but I'm like, I'm sold. I want to see this.
I just saw it right before we started recording, like that it was available to watch, and I didn't, but now I'm kicking myself. I didn't watch this trailer, JT.
Yeah, it's odd. Like it gives me like the vibes of God damn it! I can't think of anything today.
Interstellar.
Interstellar, yeah.
You're
gives
lucky
me-
you got me here.
No shit. It gives me definitely Interstellar vibes, but it doesn't seem as far-fetched as Interstellar.
Okay.
But it still seems kind of far-fetched because they're having a laser gun fight on the moon.
Ooh, laser gun fight. You didn't say that before.
Yeah. They're chasing each other on rovers, shooting at each other.
Cool.
It's like... So, I don't know. I'm interested. I want to see what this does.
All right.
And another one is Guillermo del Toro's child film that's coming out. What is it? God damn it! Scary Stories We Tell in the Dark.
Yes.
Did you see this one?
I've
first?
only seen posters of this. I didn't
Oh.
see the.
They put out
thought it
a
was
full
too spooky
trailer
for me.
Oh boy, look out! But no, I like it. Like it looks like Goosebumps, but like scarier.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in the 60s, which I'm a big fan of, so it has like that aesthetic. And a lot of the shit that they have in this is super creepy. Like you can definitely tell Guillermo del Toro has his fucking fingerprints all over this.
Sure. Did you ever read any of those books? Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
No.
They have those creepy looking illustrations in them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like so the anything I've seen for it, I haven't seen the trailer yet.
The one that I've heard of that people always talk about is the chick with the zit where a spider's coming out of it.
Yeah, I
And
saw it.
they do insinuate that plays out in this movie.
Oh boy. Yeah, just these are all like the covers to all the short stories. Just scroll through those.
Oh Jesus.
It's like I always saw this when I was like in elementary school, and it scared the bejesus out of me. And this is like a kid's book, and it had those horrifying illustrations in it, but they were just like a more like maybe a mature, maybe like a young adult scary story.
You know, I do vaguely remember seeing these illustrations.
Yeah, that's what drew me to it immediately.
But yeah, the scarecrow, that illustration of the scarecrow, that plays out in the movie too.
Nice. So yeah, I will probably check this out only for my vague nostalgia
Yeah.
for this book.
But no, I'm curious to jump into it too. From
And
what
Guillermo, too.
Oh yeah, from what I saw, and it genuinely looks creepy, even though it is made for kids. Like, the trailer plays out like a legit horror film.
Uh-huh.
So I'm really curious to check it out.
Good friggin' deal.
And another film that or another trailer that I saw is for Ford v Ferrari.
I saw this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you take over since I've been talking so much.
What first drew me to it was the poster for it, because I saw that before I saw there was a trailer, and it's like a throwback, like kind of a 60s era poster.
Yeah.
Where it kind of looks like it's painted, but like it's a very minimalist poster where it's just Christian Bale and his Ford, and that's just white. Like 90% of the poster is just white.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a really stunning looking poster.
Yeah.
And then I went and saw it, and I was like, not quite on board for the movie, because it's like a car movie about racing and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Christian Bale plays like this dickhead that like is really good at racing cars.
Yeah.
And then Matt Damon is trying to recruit him
Yeah.
by the Ford Motor Company to beat the Ferrari to like
Yeah.
make Ford the number
He's like
one in race cars.
I know his last name's Shelby.
Yeah. So
Like
maybe
the-
he's got something behind the Shelby Cobra. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Maybe.
But like I was very intrigued by it. And then it's got that killer freaking soundtrack to it.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up walking out of that really wanting to see it.
Really?
Yeah. It looks like it looked like something that I'd go in and be like, I don't know about this, and then come out and be like, that was really good.
Yeah.
So I'll check it out. I don't know when. I'll probably not see it in the theater.
Yeah. I'll probably rent it for sure.
But like somehow I will see this movie.
Yeah. And the only other trailer that I saw was for well, it's a big one. I'm sure you have it too. So what's your other one?
I have one called The Kitchen.
Okay.
And I saw this one actually before I went and saw Godzilla.
Okay.
And it's I think this is also based on a true story. No, oh wait, no, this one's I was thinking of something else. It's actually based on a comic book from DC Vertigo.
Yeah.
And it's about 3 women who take over like the gang underground of New York.
Oh shit.
And freaking Elizabeth Moss is in it. Tiffany Haddish and Melissa McCarthy are the 3 women.
Man, that's a crazy cast.
Yeah, and it's a fairly it's serious. Like
Nice.
it's a serious like kind of gangster movie.
I'm for that because Melissa McCarthy was in that movie Can You Ever Forgive Me, where she plays like a serious role, and she's really good in that.
Yeah. I hope it ends up being good. It looks interesting to me. Like the plot is like they recruit just a bunch of criminals
Yeah.
to be like the worst criminals out there, to like have no holds barred. I'm going to take over this shit. And they are like teaching them how to like just straight out murder people in alleys and stuff like
God
that.
damn!
And I'm just like, I'm on board. Like, God, give it to me.
I want to see the shit out of this now.
Yeah. It's called The Kitchen. So
All right.
check out that trailer.
I'll look it up.
And then the last one, of course, is the big one.
Oh yeah.
Rambo Last Blood.
An adult Home Alone.
Yeah. So, also, the trailer has Old Town Road in it.
God, I forgot about
But of course it does. You gotta be the first trailer to incorporate that friggin' song,
Yep,
or
it
else
was
you missed out.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah. So ever since the first movie, like Rambo was essentially like a man on the run, and he was setting up like it was more of like a not a suspense, but it was like more of a drama, not an action movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this one is following suit with that, but it looks like it's hearkening back more towards Rambo First Blood than maybe the later sequels of Rambo.
This is Last Blood.
Of course. It's not even... They should have called it Last Blood Part 1. since there's First Blood Part 2, which I don't remember much of, to be
Yeah.
honest. And I think the third one, he goes to Afghanistan and shoots down a helicopter with a bow and arrow. And then Rambo 4 ended up being pretty good,
Yeah.
but it was like a straight-on action movie.
That's the one where it goes to Burma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's this one. Like, I am a fan of the Rambo franchise, except for maybe that third one. And I've seen the second one, I just don't remember anything from it.
I was going to say, because we're talking about doing a franchise every summer, maybe we can do Rambo next summer.
I'd be into doing Rambo. We haven't
Alright.
done any of them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
There you go.
I really like the first one. Like, it's a slow movie
Yeah.
compared to what's come afterwards, but I think it's, like, the strongest one out there. Like, it's... Granted, Rambo 4, like, holds your attention the whole way through because it's, like, nonstop, like, gratuitous violence and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, the realism of the first one has never been matched since.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the first one?
I don't think I have.
It's really kind of hard to watch because it feels like so real.
Yeah.
Like he's just a Vietnam vet that comes back.
Yeah. Because he just
And-
literally just kills a bunch of deputies in a small town, doesn't he?
Yeah, because the deputies are just like pretty much torturing him. They kick him out of town because he's just trying to walk through
Yeah.
to like get home.
Yeah.
And they're like, get out of here, you friggin' bum. We don't want you here. Like
Yeah.
this vet comes home and he's just like shunned by his home
Yeah.
or whatever. And so, like, he's like, listen, I just want to keep going. And then he just, like, stops answering him altogether. So they arrest him and, like, almost torture him, like, hose him down in the freaking, in the jail or whatever. And so he ends up escaping. And they chase him down in the woods. And then he sets, like, a bunch of booby traps up in the woods to, like, take them all down one by one. Until he finally takes them almost all down where he gets back into the freaking police station and machine guns the whole town pretty much.
God!
But it's just like a man that just has snapped. Like it feels real. Like there's
God damn.
I think it's really good.
Man, now I want to go watch First Blood.
Yeah, it's good. So anyway, we just talked about First Blood instead of Last Blood.
Yep.
This one looks fine.
Yeah. From what we saw, yeah, sure.
Stallone looks pretty old in this.
Oh, yeah.
And to do a side-by-side comparison between First Blood and Last Blood,
Yeah.
Stallone is like a lean cut of meat in that first Rambo movie.
Oh, I know.
And he's on so much horse pills in the
Oh, I know.
on these
Well,
later
even
ones.
like the first Rocky, like he's so much leaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now he's on so much like HGH
He
that
looks
it's
like fucking Stonehenge right now.
he really does. His face got so wide. I don't know what happened.
Christ.
I don't know, man. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got.
All right,
That's all I
Troy.
got.
Well, this is where you come in because
I'm
it's
on
your
it.
turn
I'm on it.
to start deciding the Tournament Random Movies matchups, as I said last week.
Yep,
Last week you picked the family films
that's right.
of Monsters, Inc. versus a Goofy movie. Did you see who won, Troy?
I didn't see who won, no.
Well, Troy, you got your wish because a Goofy movie is out of the race.
Ah, get out of here.
We are now, Monsters, Inc. is the first one to move on into the semi-finals.
Okay.
So, now it's your choice, Troy, to find out which of the movies left in the tournament will face each other to face Monsters, Inc. in the semi-final matches. For all these that don't know, what's left is Alita Battle Angel, King Kong, Warm Bodies, Misery, The Conjuring, and Wild Hogs.
Of course, Wild Hogs. Let's do two somewhat action-y movies now.
All right.
Let's ramp it up.
Ramping it up.
Let's do King Kong versus Alita Battle Angel.
There you go. Well, King Kong is appropriate since we're talking about Godzilla tonight.
Yep.
So there you go. King Kong versus Alita Battle Angel for next week. We'll see which one of these moves on. Do you have a favorite out of these two, Troy?
I've only seen King Kong, and I still like that Peter Jackson one, even though I think it's very long.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see Alita Battle Angel. I heard the people who did see it said it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So,
Glowing reviews.
well, I just think it's like one of those weird, like, Eastern movies brought to a Western audience, and then, like, it's just something that just won't, I don't think will ever catch on. Not in our lifetime, anyway.
Yeah, did you ever see Ghost in the Shell?
No.
That wasn't good.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't want to see it. But I heard this one was fine. Like, it wasn't bad. It just, like, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. But I haven't yet to see it, so maybe I'll just flip a coin on the day I vote.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there you go. We have King Kong versus Lita Battle Angel. The winner of that will face Monsters, Inc. in a semifinal match.
Maybe it'll be Monster versus Monster. King Kong versus Monsters, Inc. Who knows?
And I see that you're developing a theme, Troy, but I'm curious to look forward to next week because we have 3 films that kind of have a horror aspect to them.
I was looking at them.
And Wild Hawks.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what you think, what your plans of putting a match together next week. But save it for next week. Save it for next week.
Okay. Yeah, I already have my idea what I'm going to do for next week. And the following week after that. So.
Well, of course, because then there's only 2 left.
Shut up. You don't have to give away all my secrets.
There you go. This actually would have this week's match would have been the one that would have faced off if we left it alone altogether.
Oh, this exact match?
Yeah.
Well, watch that'll be the case except for everything but last week.
Well, no, I don't think
I know that
Monsters, Inc.
couldn't happen, but I'm just
Goofy
saying.
Movie couldn't, but there you go. King Kong and Lita Battle Angel for next week. We'll see who moves on.
All right. Sounds good. Well, that will bring us into the main event of the evening, the show of monsters.
The king of all shows, right?
That's right. Godzilla, king of the monsters, dropped in our laps May 31st, 2019.
Ooh, summer release.
It had an opening weekend domestically of $47.7 million on a budget of $170 million.
Yeah.
I can never tell if that's good or not. It seems not. But then now...
How much did it make?
In just the U.S., it made 47.7 on.
Oh, it's got to make more than that worldwide.
Yeah,
way more than that.
Domestically, as of the 4th of June,
Yeah.
it's made 57.1 million.
Yeah.
Worldwide, 187.1 million.
Oh yeah. After the first week, it's fine.
Did great.
It's fine.
Overseas.
It's fine.
It actually made 70% of its income overseas.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes. Give a guess what this Rotten Tomatoes has this at.
I don't think it was that. Oh, I don't know. It's very hit and miss because there was so many reviews that were positive and reviews that were negative, so it's hard to pick. Maybe 70.
39%.
Wow.
That actually shocked me too when I read it. That it seems very low.
Yeah.
Very low. IMDb has it at a 6.8 out of 10. Metacritic at 48%.
Wow.
And Flix Chatter, 3.5 reels out of 5.
Okay.
They actually gave it a out of this time.
Thank God. A lot of these things are just like
2 out of what?
I give this a 26 out of 26.5.
I give this
Jesus.
26 cheeses. What is out of what?
Yeah.
Of infinity?
What constitutes a cheese wheel
Yeah.
for you? How small are these pieces?
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for stats, JT. So what
right.
did you think of...
Happened?
Yeah, well, oh yeah. I almost skipped over that. You would have gotten off if you
I
didn't
know.
remind me.
Damn it! God damn!
What do you think happened in Godzilla King of Monsters?
Well, we follow a family where I should have pulled up the IMDb because I don't remember their family's name.
I'm on it.
But we see them during the events of the first film, Godzilla, where they lose a son in the events in San Francisco from the 2014 ones.
The Russell family.
The Russell family. are played by Vera Farmiga and
Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler. I actually like Kyle Chandler. Shut up, man. But
I got something to say about Kyle Chandler in this movie.
I'm not saying I like him in this movie. I'm just saying I like him in general.
All right.
But yeah. So ever since those events, it seems that they've had a bit of a disconnect with each other, where they are at a bit of a distance. Where their remaining child, their daughter, played by Millie Bobby Brown,
In her first theatrical appearance.
ooh boy, look
Mind you.
out, is living with her mom, who is working for the Monarch Company, where they are keeping tabs on a newly discovered creature called Mothra.
Mm-hmm.
And as it goes on, these eco-terrorists have captured old Millie Bobby Brown and her mother because they have a certain piece of technology that could awaken a secretive number of what they call Titans throughout the world to wreak havoc on the world. And the only thing that could possibly stop them is a little monster called Godzilla.
Lil Godzilla.
Little Godzilla.
Lil being a laughable word in this, because actually, the 2014 version was the largest Godzilla to date.
Yeah.
And I actually thought, while after King Kong came out, that he would pale in comparison to size to Godzilla in the upcoming King Kong versus Godzilla, what they're leading to here.
Yeah.
But in fact, Godzilla was larger in this movie than he was in the previous one.
Jesus.
I know. Believe it. There's a bunch of Godzilla nerds on the internet that have a lot of statistics about Godzilla.
Well,
and I went on a bit of a tear reading through all that.
Not to spoil anything, but I think Godzilla nerds will cream their fucking shorts over this movie.
Yes. Godzilla fans will.
Yeah.
So, why don't we just get into it, JT? Spoiler free at first.
Let's get into it.
Going into this movie, right after seeing the 2014 one,
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure what to expect, because we even talked about this on our last episode when we did Godzilla,
Yeah.
where it was more of a serious tone,
Yeah.
where it was like a real-life situation with a supernatural event happening, Godzilla.
Yeah.
And then you have King Kong in juxtaposition of that, where it was crazy, brightly colored, almost cartoony.
Yeah.
And if they're going to eventually meet, they're going to have to meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think this film accomplished that.
Okay.
It is more of a sequel to the 2014 Godzilla.
Yeah.
I mean, picking up even like 5 years after the events of San Francisco.
Yeah. I think they definitely harken back to more information from the 2014 Godzilla than they do the King Kong.
Yes. But they throw every goofy thing in there that's like ever been made up by Toho in a Godzilla movie ever.
The 2014 Godzilla and this movie is like going from 0 to 60.
Yes. it really is.
Where they didn't give you any kind of lore in the first one, and in this one they throw every single kind of lore imaginable.
Lore galore, if I could steal a
lore
GHD
galore.
term.
Yes. Christ. I'm not going to say it's...
At points, it teeters on the ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm not going to say this is in a bad way or a good way, but I got some, like, BVS vibes from this, where it felt like, now we got a franchise, let's go hog wild on all the crazy shit we can, where it's like, you could have done, like, a little bit of this in the first one, so it doesn't feel like I'm getting such whiplash.
Yes. I don't know if I ever got any BVS vibes from it. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I got some Man of Steel vibes from it. But we'll get there a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, saying you get whiplash if you're watching these back to back is a very appropriate term because it definitely I would say it goes 0 to 100.
Like even even like in the beginning where they're like, yes, the events of 2014 happened, and ever since then, we invented this machine that harkens other monsters, and oh yeah, there's other monsters.
Okay, I just want to talk about the machine for a second.
Yeah.
And Kyle Chandler's character.
Okay.
So, before even the events of 2014 happened, the Russell family or whatever it was?
Yeah.
They were working with, like, whales. And they were trying to create this machine called the Orca.
Yeah.
Which is in this movie.
Yeah.
To get the whales from stop washing up on shore.
Yeah.
And so they create this almost like sonar echolocation thing where it would draw them out to the sea so they wouldn't get washed up and die.
Yeah.
To save whales' lives. But once Godzilla and the like became known to the world, they abandoned Kyle Chandler abandoned the project and like kind of became like a recluse after the events of 2014 happened.
Yeah. He kind of like almost lost the will to live. Like
he did, but like in
I don't
the
know what
weirdest way.
Yeah.
So there's many character points in this from, I would say, just the Russell family alone that I'm like, where do you stand ever?
Yeah.
Did you get that? I don't want to go deeply into specifics, but like, so the son dies in 2014 in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Kyle Chandler kind of goes off the deep end after that and like started drinking. You hear that in the movie, and then he kind of like removes himself from the family, and then it's Millie Bobby Brown and help me out with the name here,
Vera Farmiga,
and then they're kind of with themselves still, like, and apparently then got a job with Monarch.
Yeah.
Afterwards, because I don't think they were beforehand.
Yeah.
But I don't remember now.
No. Because I don't think they're all over the place. I feel like the reason they're separate is because they took their son's death in completely different ways, where Kyle Chandler saw, like, all the Titans as, like, well, it's the end of the world, so why even care about living?
Yeah.
Whereas Vera Farmiga was like, well, this is something that we have to deal with.
Yeah, but then, like, their grieving is, like, odd. So granted, there was 5 years that passed during, like, this.
Yeah.
But, like, so he went off the deep end and started drinking a lot, and then just became a wolf photographer. Like, that's what he does with his time now. And granted, like, 5 years is a long time.
Yeah.
But it just seems like he's not in that bad of a place now. He's like a nature photographer.
Yeah.
When they pick him up, so let me just get to what I want to say here.
Okay.
I feel like Kyle Chandler's character in this is a total Gary Sue.
Yeah.
He knows how to do fucking everything at the drop of a hat, and it's fucking annoying.
I know, like, there's a bunch of shit, like, to be honest, I don't remember a lot of what the humans do in this movie. Everything they do is so throwaway.
Well, I don't know if I wouldn't say it's throwaway per se, but it's way more convoluted than what's going on with the monsters.
Yeah.
I think that everything going on with the monsters is a great story.
Yeah.
And then everything going on with the humans is just a clusterfuck of things going on.
Well, here's my thing. Like, actually, when I was growing up, like, every once in a while, like, a Godzilla movie would come up, like, on, it's either Cinemax or HBO or something. Because I remember, like, coming across them, and I remember being fascinated with, like, Godzilla and stuff, like, those old ones, because I was a fan of Power Rangers, and those fucking Godzilla fights look like fucking Power Rangers fights.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I would legit just, like, wait through all of, like, the human shit for Godzilla monster fights. But, like, I vaguely remember, like, some of the stuff, like, the humans would talk about. And I feel like in this, because they're cramming so much, like, in every single Godzilla movie, the humans are always doing some cockamamie scheme
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about this is that I feel like all the humans in this movie are doing every single cockamamie scheme I've seen in all those Godzilla movies, where it's like, if this was like a regular Godzilla movie, they would either be be working on the oxygen bomb, or trying to find the lost city of Atlantis, or doing something else, or like just one of the 5 or 6 things that all the humans do in this movie. 'Cause it felt like they were doing something different every fucking 20 minutes.
I have the opinion, and I brought it up even when I first saw the first trailer of this, is that this movie looks like it is trying to emulate the Japanese movies.
Yeah.
A lot.
It is.
And it very much was. Like,
yeah.
The humans are like Godzilla is almost like their savior, and they're like almost calling upon him to help.
Yeah.
And so he's like their superhero, and that's how the Japanese have always taken that character, whereas like he's the hero of the human race.
Yeah.
And also it's like a weird kind of sci-fi plot also happening on the side, where it's like, just, you don't care what they're doing, but it's happening anyway, and it's bizarre. Like, when I would catch things like old movies at the time of Godzilla, and you'd be watching the human stuff, I'd be like, what is even happening?
Yeah.
And that's the same vibes I got in this movie here, where I'm just like, this shouldn't work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does. There are things that I like that happens in this that they do.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm like, what? You are doing a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
When it should be pretty cut and dry. Like, I don't mind the plot point of some humans want to release all the Titans, some humans want to get rid of all the Titans.
Yeah.
That's an interesting enough of a plot point just to drive the movie alone.
Yeah.
And they're doing way more in this than I think they needed to.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, how I said, I feel like if they were doing one of the things that the humans did in this,
yes,
it'd be enough. But they do so much shit. Like I said, every 20 minutes it feels like they're doing something different.
Yeah.
They have like a new mission where it was like, how'd you get to this point?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
They go to...
I gotta write down a note here.
For those of you that haven't seen it... Well, shit, well, we're not even in spoilers yet.
Yeah.
Shit, but yeah. So I won't say much more, but they do crazy shit in this.
Yes.
Like, the shit that I've said so far, there's probably crazier shit.
I'm coming up with notes that left and right here that I want to bring up now that we open the floodgates. Okay, so let's just put the human stuff kind of off on the back burner a little bit. We'll get back to it in spoilers.
Yeah.
What did you think of the monster stuff in this?
The monster stuff, I liked.
Same. They did throw everything at it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I thought it was done very well.
Yeah, it almost kind of makes me wonder what they're going to do with Godzilla vs. Kong, because they did so much in this.
There was like an after credits scene. Did you stay for that?
Yeah, and I do have an idea what they're going to do based off of that too.
I didn't stay, but I just read what it was, and we'll get into it later because I'm pretty sure what they're gonna do with the next one coming up.
Yeah. Was it after?
After.
Oh shit! Well, I didn't see that.
I'll tell you. I
Okay.
read on it because
Okay.
I had to pee so bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
is there anything after the credits?
I was with Molly,
said
and
yes.
Molly's been burned too much on after credit scenes where
Oh, I
it's
get
like,
it.
where she's like, if we stay and this is dumb, we're walking home.
Yeah, I
And
had
I'm
like a
okay.
liter of Diet Coke in my bladder that I need to get out of me so bad that I just friggin' Google searched it really quick. Is there something after the credits? Yes, there is. I'm like, I read it on my rush to the bathroom.
Okay.
And it's not even all
Well,
that
I'm
much.
curious to hear what it is, but yeah.
I think my next few notes are just full on spoilers.
Yeah.
So one of my notes I can bring up that I kind of already touched on, that this was a bit of a departure from the tone of the 2014 one.
Yeah.
But I still feel like it felt in the same universe, which I thought that the filmmakers did a decent job of accomplishing, even
Yeah.
though they threw a lot of ridiculous stuff in the movie.
It looks Yeah, it looks like the same kind of filmmaking from the first one.
The only thing I didn't really think they did as well was the scope, the size of Godzilla. Like, in the 2014 one, you felt like he was enormous because the way it was shot.
Yeah.
But, like, in this, you know he's big, but you never get, like, that scope of, like, his size.
Yeah, you don't get that scene where people are para-dropping right next to him.
And, like, they're just continually falling down him, and they're, like, still going and going and going.
Yeah.
Like, you never get
like
that kind
5 minutes have passed, and they're at his knee.
Yeah. So you don't get anything like that. Like, you get that, like, he's a huge force of nature, and, like, there's buildings toppling over and everything like that. But, like, I feel like that's not done as well in this, which I almost kind of missed.
Yeah.
Because you had a lot of other monsters to play with, and maybe it was just that juxtaposed next to other larger things.
Yeah.
That it's just like you kind of lose that scope of the huge size of these monsters.
Yeah.
I can almost talk myself into thinking that it's okay now, but like I'm not gonna back down on that.
Don't you dare.
I don't have any more notes that can't be spoilers.
All right.
So, all in all, before we jump into them, do you
Okay.
think this is a movie you should watch in the theaters?
I think if you're a really big fan of these kind of movies, I would say check it out in the theaters.
I think if you're a Godzilla fan, you are really going to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
Like a diehard Godzilla fan.
Yeah. Like if you have Toho tattooed on you somewhere.
Yeah. And I know I know GHD took his kids to go see this.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually surprised because some of it's kind of spooky. A little scary anyway.
Look out.
But I think like the kids will enjoy it for the action parts alone, but then the human stuff they'll be like, I don't know, what is this?
Yeah.
Because they share about equal screen time.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's a tad, just a little bloated.
Yeah. I feel like there's some moments where they kind of draw it out where it's like, okay, you don't have to be this long.
And it's just over 2 hours too, but I'm still like,
Yeah.
you could trim it
There's
back.
nothing wrong with the good hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Don't
Even
treat it like it's like a shit movie time. If you tell a good story in an hour and 30 minutes, I'll probably like you more than a good movie that's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yes, which this one is.
Yeah.
But I would say I think you would have a good time at the theater seeing this.
Okay.
I think the general audience would. I think you should go to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
Maybe a matinee. I saw it in a matinee.
Yeah.
And I felt like my $5 for the ticket price wasn't like sorely spent.
Yeah. Me and Molly saw it for full price, but I would say a matinee would be better.
Mm-hmm. Just got to see it Tuesday afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon.
Well, I don't have the amazing life that you do, Troy.
Oh, my amazing life. All right, spoilers from here on out if you care for Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
So, I want to bring up a tad more human stuff in this.
All right.
So, they dogpile a lot of stuff that they're trying to do in this.
Yeah.
But there are some things that I enjoyed.
Okay.
One of the scientists, the guy who's kind of in everything, who's kind of snarky and drunk at one point. He's got white hair and glasses.
Oh,
in Monarch.
Yeah, the guy from Get Out.
Yes. I liked him in this. I thought he was sometimes annoying.
Yeah.
But I like that he's kind of like a kooky, like a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't he be when you found out that there's like 17 titans that roam the earth? It's like, what other weird things could be here?
Yeah.
And he keeps going on about this.
So every weird thing that I believe is officially true.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a flat earther, but he's a hollow earther. And he brings that up a few times. And then
that's true.
It ends up being that there is like a hollow earth underneath the earth. And I was like, no way. That idea alone was interesting enough, I think, to flesh out an entire movie.
Yeah.
And they nuke it.
Yeah.
It boggled my mind. Like, I was like really interested in the movie at that point, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, they found like an underground civilization that's been ancient and long dead that have carvings on the walls of Godzilla and Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love, and Godzilla goes to this place to go like rest and like rejuvenate
Because it's so full of radiation.
Yeah, I don't know how, but
Yeah.
but it is.
This movie loves radiation, by the way.
Boy, does it so much that they're shoving nukes up everyone's ass every 5 minutes. That I also thought was super annoying. Every time they have an issue, they're just like, why don't we just nuke it?
Yeah.
And they just nuke it.
And then when they run out of nukes, then they shoot oxygen bombs.
It's so stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I love, like, they bring in the one guy from the 2014 Godzilla just to say, hey, we just built an oxygen bomb. We're gonna drop it. Wait, can we talk? No. And he drops it, and then you never see him again.
But I really dug that just a little bit of the just hinting at this stupid little theory of this guy, and then end up paying off, and I'm like, that was super fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun idea that I really liked. What I didn't like so much is this huge fucking airship that they're in, and they're flying and going through these huge electrical storms, weaving in and out of these monsters.
yeah.
Not once does this thing ever go down.
No.
And I'm like, what the fuck is the problem here?
Thing is made of fucking titanium.
Even it's made of unobtainium at this point. Like it defies the laws
Well, they
of
were trying to
physics.
cash in on that Avatar money.
That drove me nuts when like F-16s can be flying around and all this shit, like shooting rockets at these things, and they're just like getting knocked out left and right, but this big fucking huge airship is surviving this whole time. I'm like, I don't think so.
It goes everywhere, too.
Literally everywhere.
Like, I think it goes around the world twice in this movie.
There's literally a time where a helicopter flies up into it and lands in it, and it's still fine. The helicopter is completely fucked.
Yeah, it crash lands inside of it.
And it's while it's still flying, and it never loses a step.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the pilot of the big thing was like, you guys hear a boom?
Probably so.
Like,
Oh my god.
felt a little shaking there. I don't know what's happening.
So what other things did you have taken issue with all this human stuff?
like, I mean, I could probably have an issue with everything that they did, but it's just how much of it they did. Like, I think I could take one crazy thing and be like, okay, that's your crazy thing that the humans are doing throughout. But they took every crazy thing and just threw it at you with every single human scene where I'm like, so wait, so what are they, in terms of what the crazy shit the humans are doing, what is this particular group of humans doing that is crazy?
I didn't really mind that Monarch was able to find all these other Titans around the world.
Yeah.
But I almost would wanted like more lead up to that, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's weird that this private company,
Yeah.
and it is private because it's trying to be bought out by the military in the beginning of this movie, has so much money and clout that they're able to build like these secret huge cover-ups to where these Titans lie.
They have at least 17 very expensive military bunkers that they finance themselves.
Yes. Well, I would argue that they have 61 of them because one of them in like the desert is like station 61. It just happens that there's only 17 monsters.
Well, they just pick all the cool numbers.
Oh, it's that they just pick cool numbers.
Yeah, they
Got
just
it.
pick cool numbers.
I got it.
It's like we'll do 1. 7's a cool number.
They just did prime numbers.
Yeah.
But even like if it was, because King Kong was a bit of a goofier movie, and that shows a little bit of Monarch in that in the past, trying to search on a location of a supposed Titan that lives there.
Yeah.
So you can surmise that in 2019, that Monarch has found more of these things.
They've discovered more, yeah.
But I would almost like, in the end of King Kong, if they knew they were going to go this way, that they had like maybe like a flash forward where it's like, in like 1972, Monarch discovers like a hidden blah blah in like hidden dossier files or whatever in like a post credits or like during the credits or whatever.
Yeah.
So it like can lead up into something like this. Not that it was like a big thing anyway, like a huge reveal.
Yeah.
But I mean, at one point they're like, how many of the Godzillas are there? And they're like, well, there's like 17 of these things around the Earth. And it's like, oh, geez, that's quite a bit. Like, I was surprised to hear that because in the trailers you don't get that. You're like, oh, you know, there's a Mothra and a King Ghidorah eventually.
Yeah. Like, I know, I feel
and maybe
like...
a Rodan.
Yeah. Like, this movie definitely feels like how I can't remember what we saw, but it was like, or no, Justice League, when we saw Justice League, where it was like, Justice League felt like movie 8 of like a series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what this kind of felt like, where it was like, they threw so much at you where I felt like, oh man, like, I think I would have appreciated this a lot more if you eased me more into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if Avengers Endgame was movie 4 of the Marvel franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how much you would be like, wait, what?
Yeah. I could keep up.
No, yeah, I could keep up too, like, but it's like, it's so much shit where it's like, there's more you have to absorb and more that you have to accept as real to actually accept this movie, as opposed to, like, what Marvel has done, where they've legit given you 20 movies up to where they had their big clusterfuck finale where it's like, I'm watching a raccoon talk to a person and I feel emotional. Like, now we're at a point where it's like, they've just discovered the lost city of Atlantis and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Same. Like, I didn't know that. Like, oh shit, that Hollow Earth, this thing is pretty cool, I guess, and there's a bubble in there that Godzilla can breathe. I have no idea. But, I ended up liking the whole aspect of, like, the many monster or the Titan things through, like, every time they would visit, like, a location, like the Mothra one, for instance, where it was, like, all these ancient cultures worship these things as gods.
Yeah.
And now they're just rediscovering them again after them being long lost forever.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that aspect of, like, hidden stuff in the earth that's right beneath us or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of fun. I like that when they do that in, like, other books and movies that I would read.
Yeah.
But it just, with that alone, with all the all the monsters coming up, I guess that the director of this movie is like a huge Godzilla fan.
Oh, I
and
can
wanted,
tell.
Yeah, and wanted to pay service to everything that has kind of come before it.
Yeah.
Even the fact that, like, he had the composer, like, rescore, like, an old classic Godzilla theme.
Yeah, you can definitely hear, like, the bum 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 bum, like, every once in a while.
And then they even redid his, like, roar to be more like the classic one.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Like, they even went to Toho to get, like, approved designs for all of the monsters that have previously come out in a Godzilla movie.
Okay.
Like,
I think I love all of the monster designs in this.
So do I. They kind of changed the way Godzilla looked, barely at all, but, like, they did a little bit. I really like the way he looks in these newer movies, like this big, like, brick shithouse of a monster.
Oh, yeah.
But I really liked all the other ones in this, too. I thought Mothra looked really cool.
Yeah. I have this theory that I feel like all of the good monsters, like, let off a pheromone that just make humans want to fuck them. Because every single time...
That's a fucked up theory.
Because every single time they show Mothra or Godzilla, everyone's just like, oh my god.
Zilla.
So beautiful. Yeah. Or, like, Mothra especially. Like, every time Mothra shows up, they're just like, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a giant fucking bug. It could kill you.
Yeah.
But they go ham when it comes to, like, trying to, like, make you know which monsters are good.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Where like the humans around the good monsters just like, I love them so fucking much.
Yeah.
Ken Watanabe wants to fuck Godzilla.
He might.
No. He wants to fuck Godzilla. Anytime there's an inkling of hurting Godzilla, he fucking goes insane.
Yeah. We do not hurt Godzilla.
No, we need Godzilla to save us.
We are his pet.
I will gladly be Godzilla's bitch.
Yeah. I did like Ken Watanabe in this, though. And I also liked, why can't I think of his name now? He's on Comedy Bang Bang all the time. On Silicon Valley.
Oh, Middleditch.
Yes, Thomas Middleditch.
Yeah.
Like, I thought when he was gonna start in this, like, the first time you see him, he's kind of like in a court hearing.
Yeah.
And he's kind of playing it kind of level-headed, and then eventually, like, you find out he's, like, throwing his little, like, quips and stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I ended up really kind of liking him in this.
Yeah.
It really settled into, like, we're not taking this movie completely seriously.
Yeah.
Which it made it way easier to watch.
Yeah.
So they're not, like, full-on Kyle Chandler, like, super serious all the time. Like, I couldn't get in to, like, almost anything that he was doing in this.
Yeah, I don't know.
It bothered me because it just seemed like when they even gave like past adventures on his life, not even past adventures, like his career before Godzilla.
Yeah,
he just seemed to be like a whale watcher, like some like Greenpeace person trying to like save the wildlife.
Yeah, the whole movie I'm wondering why he's even there.
And then later on, he's like.
Yeah, because they don't really insinuate that anyone is like doing anything until after they discover Godzilla, and then it's after they discover Godzilla where it seems like Kyle Chandler goes insane and just like separates himself from all humanity. So then it's like, so how do you know all this monster shit if you've like been separate from monster shit?
Yeah, I had so many questions about his life in this.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, so you created this machine that gives out like a whale song to like scare whales away from the beach.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept that you created this invention.
Yeah, and I'd accept it more if they had the machine, but they didn't have the machine. His wife had the machine.
Yeah.
So why is he there?
And because he created the prototype and his wife recreated it, JT. So they needed his help in order to destroy it, I guess, where they could just take a fucking brick to it.
Because, like, at first it's like, okay, maybe they hired him so that he can find, like, some kind of signature to, like, find out where Vera Farmiga and, like, this eco-terrorist guy, played by Charles Dance, are.
Yeah.
But then after a while, they just kind of like, well, we can't really find it. Hey, tell us what you think Godzilla's thinking.
Yeah. Also, boss the military around, because apparently you're an expert in military strategy. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's such a Gary Sue, and I fucking hate it. What I also didn't like either, I didn't necessarily hate the turn right away, was that the Vera Farmiga Farmiga.
Yeah.
I'm screwed up the next time I say it.
It's a VF thing going on.
VF.
Yeah.
I didn't mind her turn in it, where it's like she works with Monarch, but it's like, oh, I kind of want to do this.
No, but like the whole thing is such a force just to get it to where now it's being socially acceptable that monsters are around and fighting. Like, it felt like such a weird explanation.
Yeah. But I still didn't hate it, though, because Charles Dance is like a ex-British military who now found out about all these Titans and wants to release them on the world just for anarchy or whatever.
Well,
to bring back the world, to lessen out the human population because they're killing the world anyway. And, like, bring a balance to the Earth.
Yeah,
that's
they insinuate that, like, he wants to unleash Titans because Titans were a part of the world when it was flourishing at its most, because they kept the human population at bay, and they also wasn't it like some kind of thing where it was like they emit some kind of radiation that the Earth flourishes off of that makes things grow more.
Yeah.
Where I was like,
that was like a throwaway line. I don't think they ever really bring back.
What the fuck is happening?
Maybe once they bring it back. I
think
remember.
They bring it up a lot, like in the during the credits.
Oh yeah,
kind of shit where it's like
clippings.
The coral reef is back because monsters are emitting shit to make it grow more. Where
Sahara Desert flourishes with green life.
Like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, that's true. But then, so I didn't mind her turn in it to go to his side to like have like this weird change of heart. But it's weird that like because she has such a past where these monsters killed her son.
Yeah.
She thinks it would be like a good idea to release more of them to have more loss like that.
What I took was because they tried to do a thing where it was like, let's take two parents that take the loss of their son in completely different ways. Where Kyle Chandler is, fuck these monsters, they killed my son. And Vera Farmiga is, well, they're here for a reason, so I don't want my son to die in vain. I want to look more into why they're here.
It just seems odd, because it doesn't seem like her... It doesn't seem like the reason she's actually taking. That's might what she says. But then, like, that's not... It can't happen realistically, right? Like, with all of these monsters loose?
Oh, no, it can't. But the movie wants you to assume that she understands that...
I could never fall into that.
No, I couldn't either. Like, there's no way in fuck that you can unleash 17 skyscraper-tall monsters...
Right.
...and be like, it's for the good of the world. No way in fuck you can do that.
It's no way good for the world. So all 17 of them are released in like major continents all around the world. You get to see it on a map of like all the havoc going down.
Yeah.
Millions of people had to have died in this movie.
If these
millions.
If these big fucks were growing forests on every single step they made, it would still be terrible for us. We'd all be dead.
They make little to no reference to the death toll in this movie. They say at one point in Mexico that they're trying to evacuate it before Rodan blows.
Mexico's gone.
Yeah, Mexico's gone. Wherever they were fighting in the end of this movie, LA
is gone. Just because of Godzilla being Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Like, this is like the Man of Steel moment where like all of Metropolis is destroyed.
Yeah.
And somehow only like 200 people died? Yeah, bullshit.
That entire city is gone.
It's leveled. There's no way those people got it. They make no reference to the loss of life.
They, like, pan back to make sure that you see that the entire city's leveled.
And then later on, they make reference...
I think it's Boston, isn't it?
Oh,
Boston?
Yeah, it is Boston. You're right, because they do it at the Red Sox field or whatever.
Yeah.
But they show like snippets all around the rest of the globe, like later on, all these cities destroyed. Like, these Titans just coming in because they're like under the influence of King Ghidorah at the time.
Yeah,
just tearing ass through the world.
Yeah,
and they make like I'm literally if less than 1 million people died in this, I would call bullshit.
Yeah.
So, like, it makes me think what's going on. Going to be
cool
coming.
Bill is dead. A cool Bill.
Easy half Bill is dead. I would say
a Bill. They lost a Bill. They lost a Bill.
1 billion people died in this movie, and they never say anything about it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That's like another thing that I was like, I don't know. It's taking me out of the movie. And like some more deaths in this. So like. Ken Watanabe sacrifices himself in this movie. And this one I thought was okay. It was like a pretty heavy-handed.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. So like me and Molly have been watching Chernobyl.
Uh-huh.
And like they stress that the radiation is so bad that it is shorting out like this like drone they have flying up in there. And like so we were watching Chernobyl, and there's a spot where they send like a moon rover up on the roof of Chernobyl to get debris off, and it shorts out like the drone does in this. So they're like, well, fuck, like our only option now is that we have to send people up there to clear it.
Yeah.
But we can only have people up there for a minute at a time, because if they're there for longer than 3 minutes, then they die like instantly.
Yeah.
Ken Watanabe is out in that shit for put near 10-20 minutes.
Well, he's out there for a while. Like, he gets launched into this bubble in this underground hollow earth.
Yeah.
Where they know inside is full of radiation.
Yeah.
And they say once you're in there, you only have mere minutes to set this thing off. And, like, you're going to die in there regardless.
Yeah.
So they launch him in there in this, like, thin, small submarine of a vessel, which I cannot imagine, like, repels radiation.
No.
And then is just in this thin, like almost hazmat suit, like space suit, I would assume.
Like, there's nothing about it that's lead-lined or anything.
No, he takes off his helmet,
Takes
regardless.
off his helmet so he can look Godzilla in the eye and tell him that he loves her.
Yeah. And then the bomb explodes, destroying all this hidden city.
Yeah.
Apparently revving up Godzilla, because that's all you gotta do is launch a bomb in his face.
Yeah, Godzilla just fucking loves radiation.
I noticed you said her for Godzilla. Do you always think that Godzilla is a she?
Well, they insinuate Godzilla as a her. Well, he has a kid.
In previous ones, I guess you're right. But, like, Godzilla is a him.
All right, fine.
Well, it just surprises me, too.
It's an it.
Because, like, I always think it's a she. And I think it's because of that shitty 1990s...
Oh, the shitty 1990s one where, like...
where it lays a bunch of eggs, and now that's what I always think of, is, like, Godzilla is a woman, but it's always been, like, a male monster.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just a diatribe I wanted to go on for a sec, because I thought of that before. It doesn't matter.
Like, the sex of Godzilla is so up in the air. I don't even think... Because they could say him, but... Look, let's just see Godzilla's dick.
Okay.
Let's have a movie where Godzilla just whips his dick out and be like, here, you happy?
Let's see that little red rocket. Is Godzilla male or female? Google was listening. The original Japanese films, Godzilla and all other monsters are referred to with gender-neutral pronouns, equivalent to it, while in the English dub versions, Godzilla is explicitly described as male, such as the title of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Oh, all right.
That's true. Yeah.
So
King.
it's...
But I mean, look, we're American. We love the dick.
Boy, do we. We love the dick. Anyway, that was just a side little thing. So, like, Ken Watanabe sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
Not 10, 15 minutes later, another sacrifice happens with Mila Vermilia.
Vera Farmiga?
Via Vermilia.
What does she do?
She drives that Jeep off with the orca.
Yeah, that's right.
And then just gets blown
King,
up.
Yeah, so that King Ghidorah could chase her. And shit.
And I'm like, you can't do two of these back to back.
Yeah.
Then
I know.
it just loses all their impact.
Yeah, they go crazy on the whole, I'll do it. All right.
It's stupid. I didn't appreciate that at all.
Yeah. Like I said, like all the human shit, it just feels so like it feels like they're cramming like 3 or 4 movies worth of shit into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like it's because, and then they introduce everyone that you kind of know, except for Ken Watanabe, who's been in pretty much all of them up to this point.
Yeah,
but yeah, up to this, you're just like, okay, cool, you're dead now. I don't care.
What else? A fact that I was actually surprised that they did was that they actually made it that King Ghidorah is also an alien.
Yeah, no. I think King Ghidorah is the thing I like the most out of this movie.
Yeah.
Is because they treat him kind of like a cancer to the earth, where it was like, okay, if I wanted to believe the idea that if you release Titans, the earth will flourish, releasing King Ghidorah, who's an alien, is kind of like a foreign body.
Yeah.
That like everything around him is kind of shit. Where it's like that's why I like where it's like when he comes out, like storms are like forming around him, where it's like the Earth is almost kind of trying to fight back to get rid of him, kind of like a cancer in some way, and like because he's there, like he can manipulate all the other Titans to do his bidding, to kind of terraform the Earth to what he wants.
Which
So
is clean house.
Yeah. So I like all of that. I like everything King Ghidorah in this. I think I like the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked all the monster stuff in this.
Yeah.
I thought that was really...
Even, like, King Ghidorah, where it's, like, they zoom in on his heads, and, like, the heads seem to be kind of fighting with each other every once in a while.
Yeah. I didn't notice that as much, but, like, I was reading some stuff on this right before the show, and they're like, it just seemed like the center head was, like, the intelligent one, and then the other ones were almost like attack dogs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't really notice that so much, but yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah. And the fact that he's like otherworldly abilities, like he can regrow back his head and all that kind of stuff. And I like that it like harkens back to like he's the Hydra and stuff like that from like Greek myths and all that he showed up back in those days, and really kind of cool stuff that they really tied in a lot of other cultures' stuff to all these giant Titans.
Now, King Ghidorah I thought was really cool. Like Rodan even looks really cool. Like when he breaks out of that volcano and then just flies over a Mexican city and just levels it just by flying over it. Where you're like, holy shit!
Yeah. I thought that was really nice. Yeah. And I even liked all the fighting between Godzilla and all the other monsters. Like, really, the only monsters that do fight are Rodan, Mothra, and then Godzilla and Ghidorah.
Yeah.
But I really liked all the action, even though sometimes it's kind of like a little in too close, and it's kind of got that like it's not as bad as like Transformers or anything like that. You can tell what's going on.
Yeah.
But I liked it in the previous one, even though it's only like 12 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
Like you get to see all of it, and it's brutal. Just like Godzilla blowing his radiation breath down the throat of these Mutos.
Oh yeah. I know. Like in this one, it felt weird where it was like. There's a big explosion, and then Godzilla just comes up with fucking Ghidorah's head.
Right.
Or I was like, oh, I wanted to see you rip its head off.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You're right. You kind of see it already before, but I really like that I did like that he had Ghidorah's head in his mouth, and he was waving it around, so it was almost like a fake out.
Yeah, like Ghidorah like rises out of the rubble, but then you see it's just Godzilla with his head in his mouth
and just whipping it around, and then he blows his radiation breath through his head, and then it just disintegrates it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. No, all that stuff's cool. Like, especially like when Godzilla gets to like super radiation level Godzilla, and like all the buildings around him are melting.
Yeah.
That was pretty badass.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just emitting so much heat that everything is just melting away as he walks through Boston. I'm like, holy shit. That's pretty cool. I didn't necessarily like it, though, that he's just, like, emits this pulse that comes out of him. Like, that's kind of weird. Maybe that's Godzilla lore, but I'm like, that just seems, like, odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Shoot, there was one thing I was going to bring up, and it slipped my mind. One thing, when Godzilla did come back from being dead in this movie, I found it, like, I kind of looked at the movie like, really? Is nobody else seeing this? So he came up from the ocean, like, swam all the way up, chasing that submarine, and they submerge, or they totally, I don't know, they're on top of the water, not submerge. Remerge.
They remerge.
Unsubmerge. And then Godzilla is like standing up and roaring or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're in the ocean. And Godzilla is like standing up, and it's like ankle high on Godzilla. And then he just dives in and swims away. And I'm like, how deep is that water? and I'm like looking around. I'm like, nobody else seeing this? Whatever. I'll roll with it. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, just one little thing. That'd be like the one thing that I'd want to like live tweet like during the movie.
Maybe he was holding himself up with his tail.
Maybe so. He's treading water with like a little propeller.
Yeah.
I was actually going to maybe live tweet this movie if there was nobody else in the theater, because I was the only one up until, like, it started. And I'm like, maybe that would have been bad if people didn't want to have it spoiled. Maybe I would have been vague enough. But, like, I was almost on the verge of doing it.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like a movie just ridiculous enough to be like, you gotta be seeing what's going on.
Do the spoilers without context, where you just do it in GIFs.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe I'll do that if that ever happens on another 2:30 Tuesday showing.
I know. I'm so jealous you can do those. I want to do those so bad.
The only bummer part is, like, the only reason I can do it is because I start work so early.
Yeah.
And then I get off on the afternoon. And then there was a point in this, though, where I was, like, nodding off. And it's, like, where I think they were trying to, like... it was, like, around the Godzilla... and the emergence of Ghidorah.
I fell asleep in the same spot. Because me and Molly went and saw it the day after the party you had.
Uh-huh.
So I was pretty tired watching it.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, well... Like, I was already feeling kind of drowsy, and I legit was, like, nodding off in the same spot. I don't know what it is about it then.
It was like this weird kind of lull in the movie.
Yeah.
And they're playing, like, a lot of, like, deep bassy tones, like almost like a whale song.
Yeah.
And I think it just lulled me into, like,
It
some
must
sort
have.
of relaxation.
Because I was waiting where I was like, I'm going to wait for him to say what it is, because I don't want to give it away. And then you said, yeah, when King Ghidorah comes, like, it's the same fucking spot that I fell asleep
and
in.
I popped back awake when Ghidorah's finally like, I'm here, bitch! And, like, was causing a ruckus, and then I was up for the rest of it.
I don't know what it is about that scene, but I was, like, starting to fall asleep there, too.
I was probably out for a good 5 minutes.
Like, he comes out, and I'm like, wait, what happened? Oh, fuck, did I miss something important?
But, like, I could feel myself going down
Yeah.
around then, and then I ended up just waking up during, like, a loud monster roar. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what I missed.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that Sally Hawkins died, and I missed that. Because I don't remember seeing her die. Yeah, I don't remember seeing her die.
I don't remember.
So, tweet us at ReviewPod.
What happened?
Do they show Sally Hawkins die? Because I didn't see it. I might have been asleep.
What happened in there? So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. You want to know what happened in the post credits? What I read?
Let me know.
So Charles Dance is still hanging around,
Of course.
and he comes across Ghidorah's missing head from earlier in the movie, the one
Okay.
that Godzilla didn't destroy.
Okay.
And so what I'm speculating is that he tries to clone Ghidorah, and so he comes back in the Kong versus Godzilla movie. So Kong and Godzilla
Have to team up to fight
and
Ghidorah
fight Ghidorah again.
Okay.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. Because what I gathered was during, like, the credits thing, they talk about how there's certain monsters that are drawn to Skull Island.
Yes.
So I think they're going to do a thing where Kong and Godzilla are such alphas that they've split all of the monsters to where now
choose a side.
Yeah, to choose a side, to that there's going to be a team of monsters that fight each other.
Okay. That wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, with King Kong and Godzilla leading both teams.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hire us!
Let's write it. Let's write a script. Wouldn't writing a script for these be pretty easy? Like, it'd be like a 60-page script. Like, Godzilla emerges, fights for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Humans do something.
Just kind of roll like a D&D die to try and figure out weird plot points you can throw in here and there.
Yeah. Godzilla doesn't have enough mana. Must be a nuke blown up in his face for him to continue.
Yeah. Oh, we need a spot where Godzilla's weak. Let's light off an oxygen diffuser bomb.
Okay, so that's pretty much all I got to say about Godzilla King of Monsters. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, not really. I think we've pretty much covered everything that I can remember.
I thought the performances in this overall were fairly strong.
Yeah.
It's just what they had to do was the things I more or less had the problems with.
Like, I remember you talked about, like, how you liked Middle Ditch and you like guy from Get Out and everything, but I feel like after a while for me, especially when they start getting into like the part where they're going under the earth and stuff, like everyone just feels like a talking head.
Yeah.
Where they're not so much a character, they're just
Quipping.
yeah, they're just quipping or throwing out another piece of information that you kind of need to know going into this scene. Where I was like, I don't really know what you people are as people. Like I couldn't. You could probably give me a line, and I could not tell you in any way, shape, or form who said it.
Yeah.
Because they just go back and forth on, like, we're here because of this. Oh, there's a lost civilization. Oh, there's a lot of radiation.
Yeah.
Like, they're just all kind of, like, playing off each other, just saying random facts you need to know going into this scene.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying they're doing bad performances. It's just that I don't feel like they give them enough to really make them, like, stick out as, oh, I like this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what would you grade Godzilla King of the Monsters, JT?
I mean, I had some glowing things to say about it. I love all the monster stuff, but there's so much the human stuff that, if I'm going to be honest with myself, I don't really think I like this movie.
Yeah. Before you get, I want to just, I was explaining this movie to Chelsea when I came back from it.
Yeah.
And I came out of it fairly, like, glowing. And I was like, so this happened, and this happened, and this happened. And I'm like, you know, the more I talk about this movie, I think the more I don't like it. But then, even with a couple days sitting on it, I think I might have, like, mellowed out on some of my opinions a little bit. So, anyway, go ahead and give your grade.
Like, I'll say, I feel like, yeah, from what I gathered from it, like, I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan. From what I gathered from it, I think people that love Godzilla are going to love this movie. But like I said before, it feels like a lot of this, they just soak it in Godzilla lore just to really hammer home to the fans that this is a Godzilla movie, to the point where anything they do human, it just feels like you don't know. They have them doing so much shit, you don't know what they're doing when they actually show them trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost kind of took me out of it a couple times. But like I said before, I love all the monster stuff. But the monster stuff you could sum up in watching in maybe some YouTube videos here and there. I don't know if I can, like, really, like, recommend this to somebody that has the same movie taste as me, because you have to wade through a lot of shit to get to some good stuff every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I'll give it like a higher end of a C, not a C plus, but like a higher end of a C.
Okay. We both gave Godzilla 2014 a B.
Yeah.
So I went back to look at that, and I don't think I like this as much as that movie.
Yeah.
But I still had fun with it.
Okay.
And obviously I had some issues with, like, the human stuff, such as you did. But I think even coming out of it, and as much complaints that I could have with it, are more and less nitpicks. Because I think overall I liked it a little bit more. So, but I'm going to give it like a B-.
Okay.
So there you have it.
All right.
Godzilla King of the Monsters. I do not think it deserves the 39% like aggregate rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know. I didn't come out of this like being like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
There's good stuff in it. Like all the monster stuff I love. It's just, man, I don't give a shit about anyone in this. That's not like 20 stories tall.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm fully behind you. So yeah, there you go. What else were you into this last week besides Godzilla?
I watched the movie Mortal Engines.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't hate it.
Yeah?
Like I heard a lot of like reviews about it where like they didn't like it so much, and I can see where they're coming from, because like the plot is predictable.
Okay.
But I think a lot of the stuff they do aesthetically is pretty fun to watch.
Okay.
Like watching like a mobilized London, like chasing down these small cities and just like pretty much gobbling them up and destroying them.
Uh-huh.
And then like seeing like this world that they've created, it's kind of fun to see.
that was about the only thing that was drawing me to this movie.
Yeah.
Just the trailer alone, I'm like, that looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. I would say check, like, especially now that it's out on DVD, I would say check, like, rent it.
Okay.
To check it out. Because there's, like, some cool stuff. There's, like, even, like, some cool, weird stuff in there where they do, like, this weird subplot where, like, the main character, after her parents died, she was raised by this person that died but then was brought back to life as a robot and was like raised her entire life on the idea that like once she became old enough that he would kill her and also turn her into a robot.
Okay.
So it sounds weird and dumb, but like it comes back as like a way where it's like he's in prison and then like the main villain releases him being like, well, if I release him, he's gonna kill her and turn her into a robot. At least she'll be dead.
Uh-huh.
So it's like they do this. It's so like it's a weird fucking plot point, but I think they draw it up long enough where it was like, I mean, it's stupid, but it's fun.
Okay. All right. I might check it out.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't find the time.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably plenty of other movies that came out last year that I would watch over this. But I mean, if it comes up like on Netflix or something, or if you have or like someone puts it on the background or something, yeah, check it out. It's fun.
All right.
And like I said before, I finished the show Chernobyl. They had their series finale this past weekend. And I brought up earlier that IMDb has it up as its #1 show ever.
Uh-huh.
This show's really fucking good.
How many parts is it?
5.
Okay.
But I'm going to have you go in with the cavalcade that it's hard to watch.
Okay. Just by gauging on what you've said before, I could get that.
It's a hard fucking show to watch because there are so many instances where you're watching people enter situations where it's like, well, you're dead. You're like dead in a week.
Oh no.
You're all going to die.
Oh no.
And then they have a character that they say they made up. Like there's a character that they made up so that they don't have to have so many fucking characters because there's like these two main ones. There's like a guy that works for like the Soviet government, and there's a guy that's a specialist that they brought in specifically just for this incident.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a female scientist that they made up because there was like 50 or 60 scientists that were involved in trying to figure out what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
That all had like the same sentiment that this is fucked up and the Soviet Union needs to recognize this and change their shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just centralize this into one character who's like this woman, and like yeah, like it's so fucked just to like how they show like how the Soviet Union worked, where it was like it's scary to think about like a government that will only accept what it believes is right.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if science is like, if you ignore this, you're fucked. And they're like, well, we're the Soviet Union. We know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It literally gets to a point where they're saying, like, if you ignore this any longer, there's going to be, not only will our country be uninhabitable, but 5 or 6 countries surrounding us will be uninhabitable. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll do something then.
Jesus Christ.
Like, the Soviet Union was fucked. But, and it's such a fucking good show. And, like, their finale is such a fucking good finale, because throughout the show I had these small questions here and there where I was like, oh, well, then why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? And when they get to the finale, they like the whole finale is literally based around the events before the explosion. Like the show starts when the explosion happens, and the finale is the moments leading up to the explosion to show why it exploded and why the Soviet Union was so fucked in to where they allowed a nuclear reactor to explode and literally like kill what could be 80,000 people.
Damn. All right. I'll see if I can try to chip away at that this weekend.
Yeah, but don't go into it being like, yeah, I'll just watch it in the background or whatever, because there's scenes where you're watching people melt.
Mm-hmm.
There's scenes where there's an entire episode they devote to watching a bunch of people that work for the Russian military shoot dogs.
Jesus.
That's an entire episode.
God.
So it is not an easy show to watch, But I
God.
think I tweeted earlier this week that Chernobyl is science's Passion of the Christ.
Jesus.
Where they show like how fucked the world could be if you ignore scientific ideas and
Ugh.
what people in the scientific field warn you about.
Yeah.
So it's good. Chernobyl is fucking awesome. Definitely check it out.
All right. Anything else?
That is it.
I besides going back and reading Swamp Thing, I've been going back and finishing up a Doom Patrol run.
Yeah?
It's actually Gerard Way's Doom Patrol run.
Oh, boy.
Singer of My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
I've been reading a little bit of that. That's been just as goofy as Grant Morrison's. A little fun. Not finished with it yet, but so that's coming down the pipeline. I've also been reading. Now I've completely drawn a blank. Whatever.
How dare you?
Now you're here to help me. What did I watch or read or whatever? But I also caught the first 2 episodes of my next guest with David Letterman.
Yeah.
His newest season.
Okay.
The first episode is with Kanye West, and the second episode is with Ellen.
Oh, nice.
I didn't finish the Ellen one yet. I got like 15 minutes left of it. But the Kanye
Twitty?
West. Yeah, Conway Twitty. The Kanye West one was interesting.
Yeah.
Because at first, the interview he's kind of apprehensive on saying anything.
Yeah.
Kanye, and he's kind of, David Letterman's kind of warming him up, just asking like softball questions and kind of all that kind of stuff. But they eventually get to like his creative process and even like Trump stuff and all that. And like
Yeah.
he brings it up himself.
Really?
Like David Letterman kind of rebuttals with that.
Yeah.
But like Kanye then goes like on his own tangent about it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that like Letterman lets him talk and like get your things out there, and like his stuff does, when he explains himself in this calm manner, it makes sense. And is diagnosed as being bipolar.
Yeah.
But even with all of that, I'm just like, I still can't get
No.
behind some of this stuff that
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
And you can see that David Letterman doesn't either. Like,
Yeah.
you can see it in his face, which I think makes it like a great actual interview. It's not like a fluff piece. It's like a great conversation.
Yeah.
And then the Ellen one, they're like close friends from like forever, like
Oh, yeah.
just being in the comedy world and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of cool to see, like it shows where she started and to where she is now, and it's pretty interesting.
Right.
Talks about like how kind of degrading it was to be her when she had like her own like television show, not
Yeah.
her talk show, but like her own sitcom.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then she came out during it,
Yeah.
and then like ABC and like Disney like kind of like not promoting it anymore and all that other
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Fuck.
And then she didn't work for 3 years after that.
Yeah, because I don't really remember her really being around after that.
The next thing she did after that was Finding Nemo.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, that seems like it's a long time.
Yeah.
But apparently it was
Because
only
her
3
show was
years.
big like in the 90s, wasn't it?
That's what I thought. And Finding Nemo I thought came out in like 2000 something.
Yeah.
But apparently it was only 3 years.
Yeah.
But unless she had some other things going on at the time, because I think she also hosted like the Emmys and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting, and they're obviously comedians, so they've got like good jabs back and forth and
Of
running
course.
jokes throughout the thing that
Of course.
seem, I don't know, good. But anyway, yeah. So I really enjoy that show.
Sweet.
It makes me always long that I watched the Late Show with David Letterman instead of like Tonight Show.
I know. I was like, hey, see this? Hear about this?
Hear about this?
Yeah.
The guy tested his water with his penis. What are you doing with that? It's a hell of a way to test the water.
I know.
I think I've heard that joke in his fucking monologue 800 times.
Fuck that fucking silver-haired bitch. But no, like, for like a podcast recommendation, I've been listening to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
Uh-huh.
And he's a really good interviewer when he gets a lot of time.
Yeah?
Like he does like an hour and 45-minute long interview with Howard Stern,
Oh, really?
which is really interesting.
Okay.
And like he had Bob Newhart like on like a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's a really good interviewer when he gets like time to just like sit down and like let them kind of like talk about their shit and stuff. Like,
Okay.
because he even gets people on from Saturday Night Live and gets like some kind of interesting stories out of them that way. Like, he had Bill Hader on.
Okay.
And I think he had some other people on from Saturday Night Live too. But yeah, like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is a really good one to listen to too.
All right. Because last season, Dave Letterman had Howard Stern on, and I wasn't a huge fan of that one. I liked some parts of it, but at one point, and then Howard Stern is kind of like trying to run the show and make it like, and I'm like, just be interviewed, would you?
Yeah, but no, he does that in Conan's too. But like Conan, I feel like, because like they did like a whole thing where like Howard Stern put out a book where like he puts all of his best, what he thinks are his best interviews in there, and he came out and said that Conan O'Brien he thought was his best interview he's ever done.
Oh,
so like he loves Conan O'Brien. So like I think he lets Conan O'Brien get away with more stuff in terms of interviewing him than he would allow other people.
Okay, sounds good.
So like I thought their interview was probably one of the most interesting I've heard of Howard Stern's, because I agree. When every time like someone's like, "Hey, let me ask some questions," Howard's like, "Oh, well, let me ask you some questions. What do you think about this?"
Yeah,
and he does that in this too. But I feel like Conan O'Brien's allowed to get away with more because he's like, I just like talking to you.
Okay,
tell me more stuff.
Right on. Sounds good. Anyway, that's all I've been into this last week, JT.
Right on.
Yeah. So, if people want to talk to you about Howard Stern and his penis, where can they do so?
They can find me at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter, also Bucky for Everyone on Instagram, and Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat. Troy,
you can talk to me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. Hit us up, both me and JT, at Review Pod on Twitter as well.
Oh yeah.
All of our episodes are uploaded also onto Facebook.com/review podcast. I don't remember.
Review Pod, I think.
Review Pod. It's on Facebook. Just search.
Say Pod.
Yeah, it's Pod. It's whatever.
Pod, Bill. It's Pod, bro.
Pod, bruh. And then if you're curious, all of our episodes are uploaded onto our hosting site, reviewpod.podbean.com, as well as a multitude of other things such as Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, since iTunes is apparently out. Did you hear about that, JT? That was news I almost forgot. iTunes is almost no more.
Well, I heard they're getting rid of downloads. I don't know if they're out completely, but they're getting rid of downloading.
Okay.
So you can only stream on iTunes.
All right. Sorry for all your libraries out there. No more adding anything anymore, I guess. And as well as like Stitcher and Spotify and all that goodness. And if you want to write into the show, you can do so at reviewpod@gmail.com.
We love your letters.
Yes, we do.
We feed off of them.
Speaking of,
what?
I think I forgot that we've had some letters.
What?
So before we get very far, let's read some letters.
All right. Now that we're at the end of the show, where people are probably not listening.
Sorry, I completely forgot. But one from good old Eric.
Should I mail scream?
Yeah, let's do a mail scream.
This late in the show, we're gonna do
It's unprecedented.
We're doing an unprecedented mail scream. Times 2. There you go.
Gents from Eric Olson.
Okay.
Generico on the Twitters.
Yes.
Haven't heard the mail scream for a bit, so I thought I'd chime in. Troy, I got your back. Game of Thrones sucks. Secondly, why are you guys punishing yourselves with the Fast and Furious franchise? Keep the good shows coming. I'll hang up and listen. Sent from my iPhone.
Listen, I think our Fast and Furious shows are pretty fascinating.
I think they... And didn't he agree that he wanted to hear them as well?
I think he was the one that said that...
One of the detractors?
Yeah, he said that I'm voting no. Which, look, I get it. They're not the best quality, but I think we've gotten 2 really good shows out of it. I went back and listened to our 2 Fast, 2 Furious, and I was cracking up throughout the whole thing.
So yeah, Tokyo Drift coming up soon. This won't be this Monday, but it'll be very soon.
It'll be in the workings. I've already seen it, Troy. You might be surprised.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll see, won't we?
We'll see.
And if I can find it in a good amount of time, GHD also actually sent me correspondence from Kenny Hunter Dave about the movie Platoon.
That's right. You wanted to bring this up.
And
Oh,
I've
shit.
completely forgotten because he sent it to me and then it got buried in a chat.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to find it here. Oh my goodness. It could be from weeks ago. So, needless to say, though, his... What is that? Oh, no, that's not it. His opinion is a tad chilling.
Oh, no. God damn it.
Okay, here we
I don't know
go.
if I'm
gonna
prepared for this.
boost the volume. I'm going to play it through my phone, so...
Okay, what do you think of the movie Platoon?
It just stopped.
Did it stop? God damn it, went into landscape. Oh my god. Hold on.
Troy. You're leaving us all on bated breath.
I know.
All we heard was Dave say, "What do you think of Platoon?"
Here we go. Got it.
Okay, what do you think of the movie Platoon?
Yeah, it's good, mate.
Yeah. I'm asking myself.
The first time I saw Platoon, I thought it was a little out there. But then I saw it again, and I realized it is very, very accurate. Yeah. The scenes are very accurate. The patrolling is very accurate. The relationship between the guys and the squad is accurate. The language is very accurate. And it kind of moved me the second time I saw it.
Yeah.
And each time that I've seen it since, it kind of, I enjoy it.
Yeah. Best Vietnam movie, in your opinion?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep.
There we have it.
See?
Damn. Kenny
Yeah.
Hunter Dave.
Kenny Hunter Dave.
Really sticking it to us.
He enjoys Platoon from a real Vietnam vet himself.
And like I said in our review, it put me in a real fucking mood. So imagining that being your everyday life.
Ugh. And he's pretty even keel.
Yeah.
He's one
Yeah.
of my favorite people in the world. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Kenny Hunter Dave.
Yeah.
You probably never hear this.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
For your
Man.
time and your service.
Yeah, for your
Yeah.
service as well. Christ. Oh my God.
But yeah. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. That's
Yeah.
all of our correspondences that we had that I've been forgetting because I'm a fucking idiot. But until next time where we talk more movies,
Yeah.
JT.
We're for Monday. We are doing a flashback
Yes, we are.
for Kong Skull Island
Yep.
that we did a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then for this coming Thursday, we're doing Dark Phoenix.
That's right. So flock to the theaters.
Make sure you put that circle on that X, though.
That's right. So you know it's
Don't you
vaguely an
dare-
X-Men movie.
Don't you dare leave that circle off that X.
So that's what's coming down the pipeline. But until then, I've been Short of the Max Extreme,
I am JG3K.
and we are off.